there of Red 1 squadron leader David Montenegro as he enters a right-hand turn and calls the pilots into shuttle. From 955-foot wide formation, the jets now close to be around 6 feet apart as they form the shape of the space shuttle. Red 1 squadron leader David Montenegro, in his second year as the team's leader. He is a former Hawk instructor, Tornado F3 pilot, and first joined the Red Arrows in 2009, leaving in 2011, having led the synchro pair. Now in from the right, this is the shuttle roll. Upside down at 2,500 feet, 400 miles per hour. The jets, their closest parts only 6 to 8 feet away from each other. At the front of the right wing of the space shuttle is the first of our 2 new pilots this year. He is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Matt Masters. Matt started off in the Air Force as a Tucano instructor, and then moved on to fly the Tornado F3. Before then flying with 100 Squadron, the Royal Air Force's aggressor unit, and before joining the Red Arrows. So front left, another shape is formed. There's a bit of a space theme to this part of the rolling display. The shape being formed was given its name back in the 1960s when NASA's Apollo program was in full swing. We put it in the display this year to celebrate the achievements of Major Tim Peake in his journey aboard the International Space Station. So now celebrating Major Tim's achievements and also celebrating Britain's latest involvement in the space program. Coming in from the left, this is Apollo. Yeah, Reds 2 and 3 acknowledge this next move. They do so with a very set cadence in their voices, the idea being the rest of the pilots continue counting in their heads using that cadence. On the count of 4, they put their air brakes out, and on the count of 6, they retract their air brakes. That means they all move back at the right rate to form this shape, which depicts the delta wing platform of the Royal Air Force's multi-role combat aircraft. The current aircraft, we've just seen 2 of them in formation. In from the left with some red and white smoke, this is Typhoon. The second of our new pilots used to fly the Typhoon. He's at the front of the left-hand wing of that Typhoon shape, and he's Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Cy Taylor. Cy started off as a pilot on the Tornado GR4, but then he moved across to the Typhoon, where he flew on the front line with number 3 Squadron, then moved across to be an instructor on the Operational Conversion Unit, number 29 Reserve Squadron. Looking front right now, another shape is formed as we get ready for a brand new manoeuvre for 2016, which celebrates the Royal Air Force's fast jet workhorse. The Tornado Bomber Force has been on near enough continuous operations for 25 years since the start of Operation Granby in 1991 and the start of the First Gulf War. So now celebrating the Tornado Bomber Force, in from the right, this is Tornado!
Take control. Take control. Pardon. Good trying.
Display pilots are in fact former Tornado Bomber pilots, one of them being Red 5, who's at the front of the first 7 jets in that manoeuvre. Red 5 is Flight Lieutenant Emmett Cox. He's in his second year with the team, and he's actually from New Zealand. He moved to the UK in 2002 to join the Royal Air Force, becoming a Tornado pilot and moving on to be an instructor on the Tucano, teaching basic fast jet training. Front left now, another shape is formed. The 3 aircraft on each wing drop to the back of the formation of being Red 7's aircraft. Normally, the pilots fly a Beam Red 1 where they have a very stable platform. But bear in mind, every pilot has references on Red 1's jet. They ignore the pilot next to them and just trust they'll be in the right place. Each aircraft is at least 120 feet back from Red 1's jet now, so a very difficult shape to fly as they come in from your left-hand side and present Swan. The bottom of the formation as we look at it is Red 9. He is Flight Lieutenant Joe Hurston, and he is in his third and final year as a Red Arrows pilot. Joe started off instructing on this version of Hawk, the Hawk T Mark 1. He then moved on to fly the Tornado, and then he moved on back to the Hawk, this time in his new guise, the Hawk T Mark 2, the Royal Air Force's newest advanced jet trainer. That's him now at the top of the formation as we look at it, as we form another shape, this one named after the 1960s Royal Naval fighter, the de Havilland Sea Vixen. It's a twin boom aircraft represented by Red 6 and 7 moving across to their respective sides. They're coming in from the right now as they get ready to fly the Big Vixen roll. Give them a big wave as they go upside down again at 2,500 feet. That fabulous Big Vixen shape. On the far right, as we look at it tail on, is Red 8 Flight Lieutenant Stu Campbell. Stu's in his final year as a Red Arrows pilot. Stu started off as an instructor on the Tucano, was in fact the Tucano display pilot in 2008, and then he moved on to fly the Tornado GR4 with number 617, the Dambusters Squadron, before he joined the Red Arrows. 617 Squadron, of course, being the first Lightning F-35B squadron being formed in the Royal Air Force, with both Royal Navy and Royal Air Force pilots. To the front left, you see another shape now, a big T-shape known as Dagger. At the front of Dagger are Reds 1 to 5. Their name as a formation is Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And at the back behind Red 1 are Red 6, 7, 8 and 9. Their collective name as a formation is Jippo. Jippo was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the back 4 aircraft when the Red Arrows started flying 9-ship displays back in 1968. So it's Enid at the front, Jippo at the back. They're about to roll out directly towards Crowd Centre. Get your cameras ready. We're about to start the second half of this display. Smoke comes on. Ready for the detonator. Out fan Enid. Now keep your eyes on Jippo. On the left and Red 7 on the right. Currently perched at 1,200 feet. They're turning back towards us now. They're about to start to descend to just 100 feet above the airfield. They've set up down the line with a closing speed now of approaching 770 miles an hour. The synchro pair get ready to perform their first opposition pass maneuver. Get your cameras ready. This is the opposition barrel roll. Everything in his body weighs 6 times more than normal, including his blood, which wants to pool in his feet. So they're tensing their muscles, their G-suits have inflated to now come towards us and fly the Cyclone. Bridging up with some smoke over to the left-hand side is Red 6. He's the leader of the synchro pair. We fly the boost. Fabulous day for British sport. We've got the British Grand Prix, Andy Murray in the Wimbledon final. I won't give you any spoilers. Let's have a huge round of applause for Great Britain, everybody. flying with a fabulous red, white and blue stripe in the sky. But you need to look to your right as we see the two aircraft. Joined by Red 8. The white smoke is soon to come on as the pilots get ready to fly the Revolution. Each of the pilots flying an aileron roll there where they put a full left-hand control column input in to roll the aircraft round. 7 and 9 with the covered smoke rolling around Red 6. This is our flat replacement to the hard, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Vortex. Sadly, Eric, who was known as Winkle, as he was a short chap, sadly passed away in February this year. So now, in honour of an aviation legend, these are the Winkle Rolls. The fifth jet is now going to roll around them a dozen times. Here they come towards us. This is the Twister. With the red smoke on, he's run 4, Flanagan and Mike Bowden. Mike's in his second year in the team. He is a former Hawk flying instructor. Then moved on to fly the Harrier GR9 before being transferred across to the Tornado GR4. And that's him just finishing his 12th roll. So Red 6 and 7 now rolling upside down in close formation. No trickery here whatsoever. Reds 8 and 9 match them directly underneath as they come in from your left to right, flying mirror. The inside pilots pitch up to roll to the outside as they fly the rollbacks. This fabulous match rollbacks finish to the right. Look further right now to find Jippo. Once again, 6 and 7 inverted. 8 and 9. This is the corkscrew. Says Red 1, the smoke comes on, they now stack top to bottom, Reds 1 through 5. Coming right now, the following pilots using a lot of runner to swing the jets out like a pendulum. Most Red Arrows formations are flown with the odd-numbered pilots on the left and the even-numbered pilots on the right. But in this reverse pattern shape, it's the other way round. Reds 2 and 4 on the left, Reds 3 and 5 on the right. But they want to swap to the other side, so they do it like this. The smoke goes off. This is the slalom. Red 1 calls colour on go. He then tightens this turn to around 4G in battle formation. That fabulous red, white, blue smoke standing out against that grey cloud as he would finish the slalom. Now look straight ahead for Jimmo. And roll. Cameras ready. This is the Jippo break. Now start their descent to just 100 feet. Their closing speed is an incredible 820 miles per hour. Cameras ready. This is the amazing Jippo Pass. Benefit as they get ready to draw a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky as they fly the Python. Second roll in the Python there. You heard some beeping. People often wonder what the beeping is, but it's not the pilot swearing. It's in fact Red 6 pressing a tone button on his radio to action the turn back in for their next maneuver. While Red 1 uses the radio for Enid, Red 6 can't talk on the radio. So he presses the tone button, which means Red 7 has to enter a turn as they get ready to fly their next maneuver. The carousel. Now remember, the pilots are working very hard to fight the G-force. They're going to cross 3 times. Notice how they swap their smoke colour from red to blue and vice versa using the individual colour control buttons. As they cross on the front, therefore let's have a huge round of applause for the Synchro pair! Vixen formation. Get your cameras ready for the display's finale. This is the Vixen break. You've been watching the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows! On comes the white smoke as they get ready to pitch up for the big battle break. So from 400 miles an hour and 300 feet, they pitch up at 6 G, entropy from right to left. For the pilots, it's left to right, so it's a left wind. So here comes Red 1 now, hopefully a puff of smoke, so you can hear I'm not talking rubbish. There it is. And this right-hand guys, the even numbers are now landing with a steeper stack, so they can punch through that wake turbulence. So that's Red 2 landing now. They land at 2,000 foot intervals, and as they come past you, ladies and gentlemen, they will be able to see you. Please give them a big wave. I'm going to sign off now. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope you've enjoyed the show and the rest of your weekend here at the Royal International Air 2. And I wish you all the best on behalf of everybody at the Red Arrows. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much, Lingy, and thank you for talking to us despite the fact that your voice clearly isn't that in. Ben, I hope you get a rest for the next one. So, plenty more to still come this afternoon, despite the fact of having seen so many highlights over the last hour or so. We've got the A400M to take off and depart. We've then got the Royal Navy Black Cat helicopter team to go off and hold, and the 2 Typhoons from the flypast with the Reds and the F-35B to recover. Then we have the Black Wildcat to display the French Air Force RAF Delta with the two Mirage 2000Ns performing their last ever public display. We then got the US Navy FA-18F Super Hornet presented by Boeing, the RAF Chinook, the Swedish Air Force Gripen, the Italian Air Force Eurofighter Typhoon, and then the Italian Air Force closes the show with the French Tricolore, and that takes us through until 6:15 this evening.